We are getting reports that a man has now come forward to tell investigators, the FBI, that he and Mateen were lovers for the last 2 months. He described Mateen as a confused gay man who drank heavily. Univision News broke this story a short time ago. They spoke to this man in Spanish. This is a picture from that interview where he was heavily disguised. The man said that the FBI had interviewed him 3 times plus another on the phone. The FBI apparently confirmed to Univision that it had been in touch with this man. And the man went on to say that he thinks Mateen knew, that he thinks Mateen's wife knew that Mateen was gay. Suhail Ahmed is a former radical Islamist and now a contributor with the Clarion Project. Great to see you tonight. So this, I mean, we didn't know that we'd be having this breaking news when we booked you for this story, but you're the perfect person to talk to. You were radicalized. You had parents who brought you up and almost got you to the point where you were ready to commit violence, and you took yourself the last 10% before you reeled yourself back. Grew up in London. A gay man. So you tell me what you think about that report that he was gay, that obviously, you know, this radical Islam teaches you to hate yourself if you're gay, and what role you think that played here.
Well, I think here there's a number of factors at play here. I think one of the factors was his the grievances that he had with the LGBT community, and with regards to the recent interaction that he had with the 2 gay men mentioned. But also I think key here is the Islamist ideology, the ideology of radical Islam. And the reason why I say that is because a person might have a number of grievances, but what happens is that Islamism provides the framework that shunts these grievances towards a particular direction, that being of carrying out mass atrocity attacks. And I think there's also internalized homophobia here that led to externalized homophobia as well. And I think what should be important to mention here is it's not just Islamism that contributes to this, it's Islam as a whole. The overwhelming majority of Muslims follow a conservative traditionalist form of Islam. And there are 4 main schools in traditionalist Islam, 4 main schools of law. 3 of those schools stipulate the death penalty for homosexuality.
So it's all connected. I mean, your point is the people who want to tell us this is all about homophobia and guns and not Islam have it wrong. And the people who tell us it's all about Islam and has nothing to do with homophobia and or guns, they're missing it too, because you're saying this teaches that gays are bad. I mean, this...
Exactly. I think they're all wrong, because I think all of these factors come into play here. I think it's homophobia. I think it's the issue of gun control. I think it's the issue of radical Islamism. But what happens is that what I'm saying here is that the ideology of radical Islamism basically says, if you have a grievance, here's a good way of letting out your steam. And just if I could basically explain the ideology of radical Islamism, what it seeks to do is that it seeks to unite the entire Islamic world under one banner. And then what it wants to do after that is basically via offensive warfare to then invade, take over, and then annex other territories. This is all part and parcel, and attacking the LGBT community. I mean, LGBT rights and gay clubs and gay bars are one of the things that are examples of Western advancement. And attacking an LGBT club is specific to his own situation, but also is a specific attack against the West. And I think it's important to point out here as well that he was scoping out Disneyland before he carried out the attack in Orlando.
So, I have
Disneyland has
to
nothing to do with LGBT stuff. So it's the common thread there is the West. So it's both an attack on the LGBT community and an attack on the West.
And everything we stand for as Americans and as the West. I want to ask you quickly before I let you go. You said you came close to doing it. You came close to conducting a suicide bombing or an attack similar to what we saw in Orlando over in London. How did you reel yourself back? What was it that stopped you?
What stopped me was, interestingly, just a technical point within Islamic theological thought, within hermeneutics. Basically, the Islamic scholars argued that considering that I was a British citizen, I have a contract with the British government, that I won't attack them. Therefore, it's impermissible for me to carry out an attack.
Technicality.
No, here, it's not saying that terrorist attacks are bad. It's saying a technicality. And because it's such a technicality, it's easy to override that restriction in terms of the theology. And that's why I think a lot of people from an Islamist background are increasingly predisposed to carrying out terror attacks.
Wow. thank you for coming on tonight. Again, he has reformed. He has rejected that ideology, and we're very grateful to have you here with us tonight. Thank you, sir.